All right, let's cut through all the noise. We're not just going to talk about AI hype today. We are diving deep into the actual tools that are completely reshaping the world of UX design as we speak. Ready? Let's jump right in. So, first things first, let's talk about why this matters so much. Just look at this number. We're talking about a market for AI-powered design tools that's projected to hit nearly $28.5 billion by 2035. Yeah, that's billion with a B. This isn't just some small trend we're seeing. It's a whole new economy being built from the ground up. And look, this isn't some far-off future thing. The demand is here, like right now. Between 2022 and 2023, Google searches for AI design tools shot up by a staggering 1,700%. That's a massive explosion. It just goes to show you that designers, teams, pretty much everyone is scrambling to figure this out and get on board. So that brings us to our first section, the AI design revolution. And I really mean revolution. We are witnessing a fundamental shift in how we build things. And you know what? The data absolutely backs it up. And this isn't just some abstract idea. Get this, a report from Figma, you know the place where we all live and breathe design, found that 1 out of every 3 users shipped a product with AI features last year. That's a 50% jump in just 1 year. The speed of adoption is it's wild. Okay, so which tools are actually at the heart of all this? That's what we're going to cover in section 2. It's time to meet your new co-pilots. And I really mean that. Don't think of them as just software. Think of them as partners that are about to completely change your workflow. Let's start at the top with the big guns, the all-arounders. These are the foundations of pretty much any AI workflow right now. You've got ChatGPT, which has basically become this universal assistant for, well, everything, from thinking to writing. And then you have Figma AI, which is brilliant because it puts that intelligence right inside the platform we're already using every single day. And what's really fascinating is how designers are using tools like ChatGPT. You might think it's mostly for asking questions. And yeah, that's about half of it. But look at this. A massive 40% is for doing things, actually doing the work. We're talking drafting copy, building out personas, summarizing research. It's not just a fancy search engine. It's become a real workhorse. Okay, so that covers the all-arounders. But what about making things that, actually look good? The visuals. For that, we need to turn to the specialists. These are the tools built from the ground up for generating stunning images and assets. And in this space, you've really got 2 main contenders, 2 heavyweights, each in their own corner. In one corner, you've got Adobe Firefly. Think of this as your enterprise-grade, production-ready tool. The huge selling point, it's trained on commercially safe data, so you're protected from an IP standpoint. Super important. Then in the other corner, you have Midjourney. This is the wild creative genius. For pure exploration, for mood boards, and for just pushing the boundaries of what's possible visually, it's still pretty much unmatched. All right, so we've covered the pixels. Now let's talk about the people. Because what is UX without understanding our users, right? This is where a whole new category of tools comes into play, the research powerhouses. And believe me, they are seriously supercharging this whole process. And a perfect example of this is something like Claude AI. Now, its secret weapon is what's called a context window, and it is enormous. We're talking 200,000 tokens. So what does that actually mean for you? It means you can literally dump an entire massive research report or dozens of user interview transcripts right into it, and then just ask it to pull out the key themes and insights. What used to take days now takes seconds. It is an absolute game changer for anyone doing qualitative research. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the tools, but honestly, the tools are only half the story. The real story is about how they're affecting us, the designers. And that brings us to section 3, the human side of AI. We're going to look at the anxieties and the incredible opportunities. Now, this is super interesting. Check out this data. There's this satisfaction gap. 82% of developers say they're happy with their AI tools. But for designers, that number drops all the way down to 69%. And I think this really validates a feeling a lot of us have, right? It feels like the tools for designers aren't quite there yet, maybe because our work has this layer of creative nuance that's just harder for an AI to nail down consistently. So that leads to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? If AI is going to handle more and more of the tedious, routine stuff, what's left for us? What are the skills that will not just keep you relevant, but will actually make you thrive in this new world? Well, here they are, and I want you to look closely at this list. See the pattern? Every single one of these is a uniquely human skill. Yeah, knowing how to use the AI tools, how to prompt them, that's the new baseline.
But your real lasting value? It's in strategic thinking, in having true empathy for your users. It's in connecting your design work to business goals and telling that story. AI doesn't replace these things. It just gives you more time to focus on them.
Okay, theory is great, but let's get super practical. How do you actually start bringing all this into your work without, getting totally overwhelmed? That's what Section 4 is all about. We're going to lay out a clear, simple AI implementation roadmap. The trick here is not to try and do everything at once. You take it in phases. Phase 1, the foundation, happens in your first month or so. Just focus on the core tools. Get comfortable with ChatGPT and Figma AI. Then you move into the expansion phase. This is where you start layering in those specialized tools for visuals or research. And finally, you hit the maturation phase. Now you're getting fancy, automating workflows and actually measuring the impact on the business. See? Totally manageable. And you know what? Getting started is way cheaper than you probably think. Look at this recommended stack. For about $42 a month, less than a nice dinner, you or your small team can have a seriously powerful setup. You get your universal assistant, your main design platform, and a tool for visual exploration. The barrier to entry has never been lower. It's incredible. So we've got the tools, we've got the roadmap, which brings us to our final section. What does it really mean to be a future-proof designer? And if you take one thing away today, let it be this. It's not about replacement. It's all about augmentation. And hey, if you need to convince your boss or the execs to invest in this stuff, here's the only number you need to remember. $3.70. That is the average return on investment for every single dollar spent on generative AI. You show them this isn't a cost, this is a massive competitive advantage, plain and simple. Which really just leaves us with this final thought. I think this quote perfectly nails where we are as an industry right now. The whole debate about if we should adopt AI, it's over. That ship has sailed. The only question left on the table is how fast and how strategically can we make these tools a core part of our process? That's the challenge ahead for all of us.